Thank you so much for coming. Raise your hand in the back if you can hear me. All right, one person in the back can hear me. Thank you. As superintendent of the Hastings School District, there is one day that I hope we never get rain on, and that's high school graduation, so that we can be outdoor at Todd Field. And there's one day that I hope we have rain, and it's today. Because on a beautiful day like this, it's very tough for people to come and show their appreciation to our employees, our staff, our retirees. So I thank all of you in attendance today for your gift of time. Thank you so much for showing up today. It means a lot to us as a school district as we continue to support our employees. At this time, I'd like to introduce the school board and have them stand up and remain standing. Kelsey Waits, Russ Roloff, Lisa Dean, Joe Becker, Peter Blissenbach, Dave Pemble, and Scott Gergen. Thank you. As you can imagine, as board members, they have work schedules, and for them to come here shows their appreciation for our staff as well. I'd also like those individuals who helped pull this off. I know they don't want the recognition, but raise your hand and stand up. Raise your hand if you help volunteer for this. Stand up, Jen. Stand up, Julie. Raise your hand. Apparently, Pam and Franny, you couldn't hear me. I said stand up and raise your hand for recognition. It's now my pleasure to introduce the first part of our program, EM President Julie Malm. Julie?
Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure and my honor to be here today presenting these awards for Education Minnesota. We sponsor 2 recognitions every year. The first one, which has been awarded earlier, is for Toy or Teacher of the Year. The purpose of the TOY program is to express appreciation to the many outstanding men and women in the teaching profession whose examples serve as an inspiration to teachers and students. A teacher is selected as a representative of the many teachers who daily influence the lives of students. We have a rotation system where each year we honor a different level. This year was high school teachers. For this recognition, consideration is given to dedication, involvement in professional organizations, involvement in community activities, keeping up on subject matter, trying new experiences, creating new programs, and respected by teachers, parents, and students. Our members vote, and this year, our Teacher of the Year met all of those requirements. And I'd like to have him stand right now. It's Joe Beatty, high school science teacher. Next, we have an award called Friend of Education, or as we call it, FO. This program is designed to recognize and honor those that are not in the profession of teaching, who give unselfishly of their time and energy, and who demonstrate unusual dedication, leadership, or effective service to the students of ISD 200. This year's recipient is a FO as an individual and as a business. This nominee for FO can be seen in multiple buildings throughout the school day, wearing different hats. She donates her time to junior achievement, as well as her generous donations as a farmer's insurance agent. She gives out flowers at the Rotary Club as well. She is always looking for a way to assist teachers and enrich the lives of students. The Friend of Education for 2018 goes to Katie Lindbergh.
They're going to let me talk into the microphone. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate helping you guys and what you do for our kids in the community. I've been doing junior achievement. This is my 10th year, and I love it. The kids are always so much fun to work with. And as far as the farmers program, I appreciate being able to contribute $500 a month in supplies and aids to the schools. And that's a wonderful program. Sorry, I'm nervous. And I would like to encourage all of you to visit Farmers Thanks America Teachers, because there are grants available for $2,500 and even $100,000. So please check out everything that Farmers does for you, because we appreciate what you do for our kids. Thank you.
Community education is a very important part of our school district, and it's also a very important part of our community. And we decided to add this year some recognition from community education at this event, so those people being honored by community education get the well-deserved recognition from all of you. So at this time, it's my pleasure to invite up Carrie Gore, our Director of Community Education, to present those awards this year. Carrie?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored today to be part of a rich tradition of recognizing individuals that have helped promote the growth and development of community education and lifelong learning with our school district. During the 93-94 school year, the Community Education Advisory Council established 2 awards. The first award was the Bernie McCoy Community Service Award, and the second was the Community Education Lifelong Learning Award, or CEL. At this time, I would like to have our Community Education Advisory Councils come up here to help me present this year's awards. The Advisory Council values the many contributions that are made annually on behalf of Hastings Community Education and continue to support our annual awards program. This year, we are very pleased to recognize 2 individuals for their achievements and contributions to Hastings Community Education. Our first award is the Bernie McCoy Community Service Award. Carrie Jager, can you come up front to be recognized? The Bernie McCoy Service Award is given to an individual, agency, or organization who exemplifies support and service to our community. This award is made in honor of Bernie McCoy, who is a former Advisory Council member and Senior Center Advisory Council member. He was very active in the community and with community education for many years. Carrie is the chair of Hastings Reads Committee. Hastings Reads is a community-wide reading program that seeks to encourage reading and discussion of books that helps us understand the lives and experiences of ourselves and others. Hastings Reads has an impact on all residents of all ages. In 2018, almost 1,500 people participated in the month-long program. Over 1,000 of those were Hastings High School students. When asked why they nominated Carrie for the Bernie and McCoy Community Service Award, they stated, "Carrie is the driving force of Hastings Reads. She coordinates and facilitates community planning meetings, negotiates for the main author appearances, pursues finding opportunities, and enthusiastically promotes Hastings Reads at Hastings High School and throughout the community." While many volunteers support Hastings Reads, I believe Carrie's individual dedication exemplifies the value of local community collaboration that supports learning at all ages. It is with our pleasure that we present Carrie Jager with the 2017-2018 Bernie McCoy Community Service Awards. Thank you. I'm so good. Our next award is the Community Education Lifelong Learning Award. Susan Herr, would you please come forward to be recognized? This year, the CEL Award is presented to Susan Herr. The Community Education Lifelong Learning Award is presented yearly to a community education instructor by the Community Education Advisory Council
who works, supports, and exemplifies the concept of lifelong learning. Susan teaches our Zumba Gold program at Tilden Community Center. One class participant stated, "Susan works with us older adults to promote good health as we go into our golden years. She works tirelessly to ensure that our sessions are fun and tailored to meet the needs of our aging bodies. She takes time to engage before and after class, to address questions and to build relationships with her students in the class. She is a very upbeat person and it is projected in her classes. I feel good mentally and physically after each class. It is with sincere pleasure that the Community Education Advisory Committee awards Susan Herr with a Community Education Lifelong Learning Award." Congrats.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations, recipients. In your booklets, we have the 5, 10, and 15-year recipients. We will not announce all of them this evening, but you can read their names and they will get the awards sent out to their sites. At this time, I'm going to ask a couple of board members to come up and help me as we go through the 20-year recognition. And I ask that those individuals walk up and get their recognition and that we hold our applause till the end. Tom Brenny. Thank you, class, for listening. I know it's hard not to clap for you, Tom. They tried. Linda Duchesne. Leanne Garner. Kurt Grauman. Carrie Jagger. Robin Keyport. Mark Moberg. Rick Most. Julie Niederkorn. Jim Rohr. Deb Young. Mark Zuzik. And now we can applaud for all of our recipients of the 20-year recognition. And now for the 25-year School Bell recognition, Mickey Atkins. Cheryl Fitzgerald McNeilis. Jody Glazier. Jeff Hansen. Susan Hernlam. Bonnie Jasicki. Brenda McGrath. Carol Patterson Kniff. Lindy Rawe. Valerie Schlesler. Stephanie Tock. And Carrie Williams. Congratulations to our 25-year recipients. And now for our 30-year recognition. They will receive brass clocks. Jane Harris. Janelle Knutson. Kathy Johnson. Sherry Matson. Janet Zuzek. And a round of applause for all of our 30-year recipients. And now our 35-year recipient, Peggy Whipple. Thank you, everyone, for your years of dedication and commitment. Peggy's not here with us today. And now I'm going to share a little bit about the employees of the semester and our wonderful relationship with NTEC. NTEC sponsors both the employees of the semester. When you're nominated as an employee of the semester, then that qualifies you to be an employee of the year. NTEC also gives every recipient a $50 gift card at an eating/drinking establishment in the Hastings community, along with a plaque that goes with that. They also sponsor the Teacher of Excellence that is decided upon in the summer, and recognition is given back at the fall Welcome Back. This year's recipient of the 2017-18 Teacher of Excellence and was recognized at our Welcome Back was David Russell Larson. Let's give him another round of applause, David Russell Larson. So at this time, I would like the employees of this year, for the employees of the semester from NTEC who are recognized at a school board meeting, if they're here, to stand and stay standing during this recognition. Joe Beatty, Ron Binke, Eric Dietz, Kim Frey,
learn. During Kim's 15 years as director, the district has gone from statutory operating debt to fiscal solvency, and in no small part thanks to Kim and her fiscal aptitude. Kim's job is immense, but she performs it with the utmost professionalism. Her ability to foresee the future and budget accordingly is nothing short of miraculous. Yet Kim is one of those people who are not widely known or recognized within the district. See her on TV a lot, but on any day you can find Kim in her office with her nose to the grindstone. Her work ethic is beyond compare. There is no one who works harder in the district than Kim. She never leaves for a weekend without an armful of binders in her bag. When you pop in to ask her a question, no matter what she is doing, she'll always stop and give you an answer. Her ability to research the best way for the district to approach a financial problem is why the district's finances have continued to improve over her tenure. Kim is always fair and has a keen sense of right and wrong. She strives to do her best because she knows her best is what's best for the district. Her retirement at the end of December 2018 will mean a huge loss for the district, but Kim will undoubtedly have her replacement well prepared and ready to tackle the task at hand. There is not anyone more deserving than this recognition than you, Kim. Thank you.
For those that know me very well, you know that public speaking is the thing that I find the hardest to do, so kind of bear with me. Okay, I am proud to have worked for the district for the last 15 years, but God, I usually don't get choked up like this in public. But I am only one spoke on the wheel. There's many other people in the district that has kept the district going, but you can see why I want to leave. So I would like to introduce you to, and Justin, you flew in? Wow, okay. All right, Bradley? All right, this started 40 years ago in September, me and Brad. And then we had 4 sons. And I'll name them after I do my little story. And you can see with 4 sons and Brad, I was kind of outnumbered. But then 2 of our boys were pretty good, and they got me the best 2 daughter-in-laws that you can have. And then the icing on the cake was the 5 grandchildren that they gave us. This is our oldest son, Josh. He's in St. Paul. He's IT for IBM. And the first 6 years that we lived in Hastings, he was deployed 4 different times. He's a veteran. So Jake and Kelly, do you want to step forward just a little bit? Jake, it's our son Jake and daughter-in-law Kelly. They live in Jordan. They're both special ed teachers in New Prague, so they know a lot about what a lot of you do out there. Our third son, Jason, married Abby. They live in Montrose. Jason is a planner for Asplin Tree Services in the West Metro. Abby is a dental hygienist and office manager at a clinic in, you tell me if I'm not getting this right, in Wayzata. What?
She saw the Cinderella prom being set up, so she's...
Okay. And our youngest son, Justin, when we moved up to Hastings, he was just finishing his sophomore year in Blue Earth. So some of you may have had him. He completed his junior and senior year in Hastings and graduated in Hastings. And then will the best 5 please step forward a little bit? This is our second grandson, Jameson. This was our first grandson, Jackson. And even though I love sweet little boys, come here, Kens. For the first time I heard for a fry, it's a girl. And then one more time, I got another sweet little girl, Jordan. And then this is Joel, our 5th grandchild. Thank you to everybody for this.
I just want to add a few comments because I was fortunate enough to be the superintendent at the Blue Earth. Hang on here just a minute. There's Kim taking charge. No, I'm not going to tell any stories on your boys. It's past the statute of limitations, so we're fine. But I was superintendent at Blue Earth, and so I know that her 4 sons would all agree that Brad and Kim were totally committed to them in their lives, committed to them in everything that they did. Brad and Kim then moved up to the metro area because they knew that their sons probably would retire in the metro area. And the boys also know then that dedication came to Hastings too. So the boys and their family know the dedication that Kim has given to all of us. It's the same dedication that they've experienced their entire lives. And now, fortunately for you 5 grandchildren, you're going to get to see the unbelievable dedication from a grandma. So congratulations and thank you for loaning your mother to us for 15 years. And thank all of you for making the effort to come here today. She's so deserving. Thank you. And now it's the time for us to get to all of us who experience these wonderful people who are retiring and all the years of dedication that they've given to our Hastings community and our students, our parents, etc. They get a Hastings blanket that in these long winters, especially that we had this year, that they'll get to hopefully wrap up in that blanket and have some fond memories of Hastings. Totally their choice when they come up of whether or not they want to say anything. We don't pressure you. It's not the peer pressure. So if you want to share anything, it's definitely your day to share with us any thoughts that you might have. At this time, I'd like to invite up a retiree, Jenny Anderson. Some of them did share, some of our retirees shared that they would not be able to be with us today. We'll still give them a round of applause. I know Cece Bauer, she said that she would not be able to be here, so a round of applause for Cece. The next recipient, Lori Bouvet, said that she would not be able to make it, so give her a round of applause. John Carroll had shared that he would not be able to be here, so we'll give him a round of applause. Diane Christensen. Diane Christensen? Congratulations. And would you like to say a few words? All right.
Well, I'd just like to say that I am very grateful for the opportunity to have been a part of this amazing team of educators. It really is the people, and that's all of you, that makes this district great to work for and provides our student with a first-rate education. As a special ed teacher, I've had the honor and pleasure of working with some remarkable students and their parents. And it gives me great joy when those students come back after they've graduated and share with me how they're doing. It's great to see when they mature and grow up and are being successful. So I'll certainly miss the people, the students and the staff, but I am looking forward to this next chapter. So thank you, Hastings, for the opportunities and the memories.
Thank you so much. Linda Featherstone.
You can, I'll hang on to that. Congratulations.
Thank
Just
you.
hold it close to you.
I've served a lot of meals to a lot of kids, some good and some bad. The kids, not the food. The food was always good. I started this job for something to do and thought I'd work till my kids all got out of school. Well, that was 26 years ago, and here I am. I loved my job, and I loved all the people I worked with. Then I promised my granddaughter, Kira, that I'd be here when she got into 5th grade. And she was in 5th grade this year, so I fulfilled that promise. My other grandchildren now want me to stay, but it's like I'm probably one of the oldest in the school district, so I'm out of here. And I'm lucky 6 of my 9 grandkids are here in Hastings, so I get to see them quite often. I'd like to introduce my family. It's my son Christopher and his wife Jessica. They have 2 children, Soren and Tegan. My son Dustin and his wife Sarah, and their 3 kids, Henry, Isabella, and Annalise. My daughter Brianna, with 2 of her 3 children, Chloe and Garson. And Brianna is also your Hastings Boys and Girls diving coach. And my husband Bruce, who has heard this phrase, "Honey, I'm not cooking tonight, you're on your own." He sure cooks a mean scrambled egg, and he probably won't hear that so much anymore, or maybe he will, I don't know. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jan Hansen.
Congratulations. You can say a few words?
Did you write my speech?
No.
Whole blanket. Thank you. Hey, how's it going out there? 2 people that just spoke shared what I was going to say, so I probably don't have to say anything else. I just can ditto everything they said. I have not followed Lynn Warren's recommendation to write down what you're going to say, so I didn't write anything down. But man, it's just a great place to be. I love coming here every day and spending time with some really unique, fantastic learners. Try to cross those barriers that they run into every day. So it's so fun to watch them go from hiding under the sweatshirt under the table to eating in the commons, becoming state and national leaders in Special Olympics. And we have a student that's been hired to be a professional here. It's just great to see all of the things that our kids are doing and that you're a part of in the community. In our school district, we have experienced so many things while I've been here. Losses and tragedies with kids and staff, celebrations with athletics at the state level and music at state and national levels, teachers who go on to just get great rewards for everything that you do. So what a great place to be. We've also experienced redistricting, closing schools, opening schools, negotiating. And we even learned that our superintendent has such talent working out on a treadmill, for those of you who got to experience that. So one thing I do really appreciate about being here is just the trust that we have as a community. We have a really trusting climate. We support each other and we care. And I really thank you for supporting me. There are a couple things I won't miss. One are evaluation reports. Haveman? Yeah? No more. Done. The other thing I won't miss is from the awesome special ed team that I work with, when is the start date of the IEP? So you all go home and figure that out now. It's on your own. And one more thing. Because I know you trusted me, I want to make sure that I can trust my friends here. So, and I know I have a family member that'll be really glad that maybe this will be done. So I'm going to try to put it to rest. If I can trust you. So, here are the quarters. just in case your admin person that comes to a meeting might need money for water, whatever it is. And he doesn't like lunch pails, prefers brown bags. So if he shows up and he doesn't have a brown bag, there's two, okay? Thanks, go Raiders.
Thank you. Trent, that's the last time you'll ever see those quarters. Our next recipient, Cindy Cost.
It's all I can do not to wait for everyone to be on their pockets before I talk. How lucky are we that on a Wednesday in May, we can come together to celebrate who we are and what we do. And I know that everyone in this room values what we do. I want to begin by thanking all of the retirees because who we are and what we do didn't begin with us. Your legacy of hard work and dedication, it lives on, so thank you. I also want to thank Tim and the school board for making this a great place to work. I have enjoyed coming to work almost every day of my career, so thank you so much. And then a little bit about my McCullough family. Every now and then I wander down to Matt's office to share the life or the world according to Cindy Cost, and her visits go something like this. Hey Matt, do you have a minute? Sure, Cindy, what do you need? And I know what he's thinking. If I'm nice to her, she'll go away. But I stay, and I tell him what life is like for us in the trenches because I want him to hear our perspective, and I've always appreciated that he gave me that. I also want to thank everyone at McCullough. The mantra, it's not my job, that just doesn't exist at McCullough. McCullough, you do so many extra things. And lastly, my team, my first grade team, Amber Berry, Angie Bronk, and Mary Ellen Hunt. You are creative, dedicated, gifted teachers, and I have loved every minute of working with you. I know that God was smiling down when he wove our team together, and I think the world of each one of you, so thank you. And John, I can't wait for this new chapter of our life to begin. It's going to be fun. So I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
John Cost. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I've loved a couple things. I've really loved being able to wear the title of teacher. And I've enjoyed sharing that with people, whether you're in a grocery checkout line or you're at an airport. I've always felt very proud of that fact, and I know a lot of you feel the same way. And all the teachers out there, I want to make sure you don't ever forget that and how important a job you have. Few professions get the chance, like we do, to teach, mentor, befriend, and guide kids the way we do. And I want to thank you for choosing teaching, and I want to thank you for staying in teaching. I really also want to thank the people that helped me get started in Hastings. Gary Evenson, who hired me, and all the dedicated principals I've worked with, Corlin Mortensen, Alan Saunders, Elaine Bell, Matt Esterby. And lastly, I want to thank our current fourth grade team at McAuliffe. That's Carol Howd, Ann Henning, Katie McBride, and Jenny Glow. You won't meet a more dedicated, professional, fun group than these four ladies, and I've been lucky to be part of that. Two of which are former students, that would be Ann and Katie, which tells me I've been around a long time, and perhaps it is time to retire. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for taking time out on a beautiful day to spend some time with us. Thank you. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Thanks again. Thank you.
Sherry Matson. All right. Congratulations. I'll hang on to that for you. Just hold it close.
Okay. Wow. I'm retiring. It's hard to believe. Looking back on the year, I think how appropriate the theme of our fall workshop, upbeat. That is how I felt from day one, because I knew this would be my last year, and it has been an upbeat year. Since I announced my retirement, people have approached me to offer congratulations, and of course the next question is, any plans for retirement? So I thought I should develop a plan to guide me as I start retirement. Now, I have 30 years experience developing plans for our students, IEPs, individualized education plans. So I thought it appropriate to end my career with one last plan, my transition retirement IRP, individual retirement plan. For those of you not familiar with an IEP must have a beginning and ending date, goals, and objectives. The goals and objectives have to be specific and measurable by Minnesota state standards, but a retirement IRP is governed by ARP, the American Association of Retired Persons, and does not require an ending date or specific measurable goals and objectives. ARP goals and objectives are measured by an individual's happiness and contentment with life. So, my retirement goal. At the end of the 2017-18 school year, I will retire after 40 years of teaching and coaching and enter retirement living a happy and healthy life surrounded by family and friends throughout my lifetime. Now, how am I going to accomplish that goal? My objectives. Well, I'm going to start working on objective number 1 immediately. Upon completing my last day of school, I will head to the airport, destination Knoxville, Tennessee, to attend the All-American Redhead Reunion at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Well, thanks. Number 2, I will increase free time from 16 hours each day, followed by 8 hours of sleep. Number 3, we'll wake up each day independently without the use of an alarm and participate in some type of physical activity on a daily basis, followed by free choice activities throughout the day and evening. Number 4, during winter months, we'll increase time in warm weather destinations from 1 week to 1 month or greater. Number 5, we'll travel the country at a leisure pace, reconnecting and visiting with family and friends during non-holidays and non-school breaks and vacations. Number 6, we'll strive to improve my golf game summer, fall, and spring during the week daytime hours while supporting my favorite charity golf events. And those two are Hastings Shark Special Olympics and the Salute to Servicewomen. Number 7, this is for my special ed colleagues, will participate in community events as a learner or volunteer to increase social skills and peer interaction. Number 8, we'll take 1 or more trips during the year with Golden Gopher women's basketball team, sitting in the stands cheering the Gophers on under new head coach Lindsay Whalen. Number 9, we'll transfer my cleaning, organization, and downsizing skills from the past months, cleaning out my offices and storage rooms, and applying those skills in preparation to sell my suburban home in Eagan and move to Lake Living in Cannon Falls. Now, if anyone's looking for a home in Eagan, contact me. Great location, 25-minute drive to school, so see me. And finally, number 10, sitting on my deck on a beautiful day, I will take time to reflect back on a 40-year career in education, 30 of those years in the Hastings School District with pride and fond memories of staff and students while watching the beautiful sunset on Lake Billsby. Now, I just have a few people I want to thank, the 30 years that I've been here. Starting off with the administrators, past and present, I want to thank you for giving me the resources, classroom setting, and freedom to do my job. When attending DAPE conferences and workshops, I would hear stories from some of my colleagues having to work with their students in the hallways. Not the case for me. I've had wonderful teaching stations in every building. Not once was the hallway my classroom unless it was my choice. Hallways make great bowling alleys. Okay, thanks to all my general ed college, and a special shout out to the physical education staff. Throughout the years, whenever I asked if I could bring a couple of students into their class, the response was always, yes, of course. You always made our students feel welcome and part of the class, and I thank you. The paraprofessionals. I've had so many wonderful PSAs to work with over the 30 years. You play such an important role on our team. You make a connection with our students that is so valuable. Your patience, compassion, perseverance help our students reach their potential. Parents, you have been a vital member of our team. Your support in school and at home is so much appreciated and valued. To my special ed colleagues, we are the core of the special services team, the coaches. We work to develop independent students working to their full potential. We set goals and plan ways to achieve those goals. We teach, we practice, we develop skills, we motivate, we test, we nurture, we care. It has been a real honor being a part of your team. I have learned so much working with all of you, and you are all number one in my heart. Now, the most important members of the special services team, our students. This is why I went into teaching. I've been fortunate to work with some of our students from elementary school through high school. To see the growth and development over those years has been so rewarding. To see how proud they are when they accomplish a skill for the first time, score their first basket, independently ride a bike, or shoot an arrow at a target, complete their first mile run, earn their first trophy. The success of my students is what has motivated me each and every day at school. In closing, it is time for me to move on. The majority of my friends are retired, and I am missing out on all the fun. I will always remember one of my friends who is retired saying that teachers are fortunate because they get to practice for retirement every summer. Well, I've had many summers to practice, and I am ready for the next big event. Retirement, here I come.
I'm happy for you and your art goals. I'm kind of depressed on my life right now. But I'll move on. Sherry McPherson Ness. Congratulations. Want to say something?
I am kind of shy, sorry. I have had a wonderful 30 years in the Hastings School District. I think it's the best school district, and now I'm on to retirement. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think Liz Nelson is here. She works in her office. Is she here? I tried to twist her arm. Liz Nelson? Well, let's give Liz a round of applause. And I'll just say about Liz, I know that she probably didn't want to come because she'd have to speak, and she doesn't want to speak, and that's all about her. She's just dedicated, committed, and does her job extremely, extremely well. We're going to miss her in the office. Carol Patterson Caniff. Do you want to say anything?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. I know that Carol doesn't want to say anything, but as board members and superintendent, we're fortunate to see Carol. She swings down to the district office on board meetings and work sessions, and she's extremely friendly. And even in retirement, Carol's been back working yet. So thank you, Carol, for your willingness to come back as well. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Jeff Rother. Jeff said that he would not be here tonight, so round of applause for Jeff. Greg Sandkamp. All right.
You bet. I know. Well, I think I got it here. we had to write these biography things, and when I was writing that and looking back at that, and I looked at, holy cow, really pack a lot of life in a teaching career sometimes. So I just think about a couple things that just kind of hit me, and today I was thinking, like, you know, what's going through my mind right now. I'm thinking thankful and grateful and appreciative for all the things that I've had, and my career here, my family, and it's just been really neat. You know, you start out, and I didn't get a teaching job right out of college. It took me a long time to get my first job. I did a lot of other things. I delivered bakery goods at 3:30 in the morning, cleaned nursing homes, and drove school bus, trimmed trees, ran a sawmill, did all kinds of things, and always wondering, am I ever going to get a teaching job? And then I was blessed to get a teaching job. And I taught a couple years in Farmington, and then I was able to come back to where I'm from here in Hastings. So it's been really neat being able to go to school through our school system here, and then have my children go through the school system, and now I have grandchildren in the school system too. So that's been pretty cool. Hastings has been really a neat place for me to work. I've been able to work at every elementary building in the school district. I also taught a little bit at the middle school, and then ended up at the high school. I've been able to teach about 70 plus seasons of sports, and that's just another really plus for me to be able to teach, and then also coach and see kids and people in a different light, and I really appreciated that also. Yeah, so a couple other things here I'd just like to say. I've watched the past year, my wife Cindy, she retired last year after 41 years did an awesome job. She was like a rock star in the elementary building, and I got to watch her teach for about 20 years while I was in that building, and so I saw how well she did that job, and how well she's handling retirement, and I just thought I'd want to be part of that club too here. So yeah. And I just think about the times that I've had. I was in elementary school and teaching, and then when I first was in college, I thought, oh, I'm going to get out of college and I'm going to be a wrestling coach, and I'm going to be a high school teacher, phy-ed teacher. Well, that didn't happen for a long, long time. I was in the elementary, and I really fell in love with the little kids down there, and that was just a wonderful time of my life. And I just think about just the spontaneity of the little kids and stuff, and you know, and the things you did with the first graders, they're always fun. And I don't know how this ever happened. They always come and wiggle their teeth, and they have loose teeth all the time. And then it's like, you know, you need some help with that. And then I'd pull one out, kid, and then the word would spread, and Mr. Sandcamp pulls teeth. And so I did a lot of that. And they loved to have their teeth pulled because they could go to the nurse's office after that and get the little plastic tooth with the little thing that were around their neck, and they loved walking around with that thing. So we pulled a lot of teeth down there. The other thing, I tied a lot of shoes. You know, I really got good at tying shoes down there. And the girls' shoes were okay to tie, but the boys' shoes, when you came to tie those guys, all of a sudden you're tying them and they're really wet, you know, okay? And they're not wet from water. They're wet they just got out of the bathroom after lunch, and then, you know where that came from. So I always have to wash my hands. But they're a funny little lot, those guys. And keeping them on task, too. We do fitness tests, and we try that with a mile run at the elementary school. And you'd send them out and try to have them come back and get a time on them. Some of them just didn't come back for a while. And then you have to go find them, and they'd be in the woods. And some, you know, were down near the railroad tracks, and we got them off of there. And then there's some that just love to hold hands and pick dandelions and four-leaf clovers and bring them back to you. Yeah, one of my best stories, though, is I was at Tilden teaching, and they'd have to run down the bike path and come back, and I'm just like, okay, we're getting these times. I'm trying to get them and make sure they're back, and all of a sudden they weren't coming back, and I'm looking out, and I go, all of a sudden the kids are coming off the bike trail, and they're going down into a ditch. I go, what is going on down there? So I go over there, and then I get to the ditch, and it was pretty cool. I'm looking down there, and there's one little boy, and he's making a little nest. And I go, what is that? He's making that out of grass. And another kid is getting a stick and making a cross. And then couple other kids are crying. A couple other kids are praying. I go, what is going on down there? Then I look, and one of the kids found a dead baby duck, and they had a dead baby duck funeral right there. It's like, so I just shut off the stopwatch, and that's what we had that day. So. But it was pretty cool. There's a lot of neat things that happen down there, and that's pretty fun. And then you just think of how fast this time flies by, and what. And I just think of back then, back in the storeroom at Kennedy from the 60s, they had, I don't know, some of us will remember the old record players that the box, and you opened it up as green, I think, and then you played the big record, and you had to get the needles and stuff. So we played a little music in the elementary. The kids always just like Michael Jackson and Beat It, and they just play that, and they'll just break out into dance all the time. But then the kids would come up to see, and they'd look in that box, and they go, "What is that big CD, Mr. Sandkamp?" And they thought that was a CD. So anyway, it's just kind of funny how things change. But anyway, that's just a little bit of the elementary, and that was always a great time for me. And and I just love that, and I'd always have to scurry up here to coach because I love doing that part of my life too, and that worked out well. And about 10 years ago, I was teaching kids, and they're all doing their thing, and Mike Johnson walked in the elementary gym, and I go, "What the heck is that guy in here for?" And he comes up to me, and he says, "Greg, I got to talk to you about something. Would you be interested in coming to the high school for a while?" I go, "Holy cow, I'm getting late in my career here. I don't know about that, and we're having fun down here." But I always wanted to do that, so I was blessed to be able to come up to the high school and teach at yet another building in the school district, and it's been really cool to do that. And a big part of that is seeing the kids, and that's kind of what this is all about, is the kids. And it's so neat that I've seen them through all the ages, and the kids up at the high school, I got to see the kids that I had in elementary school and see how they've changed. And I had a lot of Kennedy kids coming through. I thought that was pretty neat to have them coming up here. So this has been very, very nice to be up here. I just appreciate my career here, and it's been wonderful. And like I say, my kids went through the school district here, and that's just a great part of life too. You have a lot of things that happen in your life. You have a lot of people that pass away in your life, and then you have the wonderful things and the beauty of your own children being born, and they get to go to school here. 3 of my kids are here out of the 4. I have Joe, my little baby there, graduated in 2003. Jonna in the year 2000. Jesse graduated in 1997, and my oldest son Jason's in Colorado. He graduated in 93. I have a couple lovely grandchildren. One of them's here, little Leo, and I call him Joe sometimes because he reminds me of my son Joe. And there they are. There's Leo and Joe. They're kind of a lot alike. They run really fast and play hard, so that's cool. And one granddaughter, Lila, 10 years old, beautiful little child that is going to school at Kennedy Elementary right now. So yeah, that's been pretty neat. So anyway, I am very thankful and grateful and appreciative, and I love working with the people here, the colleagues, and the relationships that you build with people, and the kids are just awesome. I got to work under 3 superintendents, been here a long time now, and thank you for being here. And and then 3 different principals in the elementary, and then the principals up here, Mike Johnson, and the assistant principals up here. So I've been around a lot of people, and I've had a lot of good colleagues here that I've loved working with, and it's just been a great career, and I'm very thankful. So God bless all of you. Take care.
Thank you very much. Note to his kids: if he babysits your kids, they'll run and play on railroad tracks. They might go away and never come back, and he won't know it. And then he'll have a religious ceremony with them as well. So just you decide whether you want Grandpa to watch your kids or not. That's totally up to you. Kathy Warren.
Yeah, please. That would be great. Thank you. Thanks. I got that. Thanks. Okay. All right. Well, people keep asking me every day how I feel about this, and all I can say is it's mixed emotions because I've had such an awesome career here in Hastings. In January of 1986, Mr. LaCroix called me and said, "Would you like a job at Cooper?" And I said, "Sure." I just had my son Luke, and he was causing all sorts of problems at home, so said, "I'm ready to get back to teaching." So I said yes, and the rest is history. I've taught in every building in Hastings, including St. Elizabeth and Seton, and I'm so happy I finally ended up at the middle level, which is my love. I would like to thank all my wonderful colleagues and all the people I've met and all my administrators that have supported me along the way. I've had the privilege to teach so many wonderful young people about the joys of music, and that is the one thing I can honestly say when people ask me about retirement is what I will miss the most is the kids, because I love my middle school kids and their music making. So thanks to everyone, and I hope I have a good retirement.
Congratulations.
I know Peggy Whipple wasn't here for the 35-year recipient, so let's give a round of applause for Peggy Whipple. And I'm really not sure why this was listed this way in your program, but this next guy must really be colorful. Because if you look at your program, he's the one that we added color to, so we're expecting a colorful speech. Mark Zuzik, come on down.
Thanks. So it's taken me 53 years to earn a letter. I should say that I did earn a letter. I was in soccer in high school, but it's nice to get another one. So the other thing I noticed as I was walking up here, in 1983 I graduated from Hastings High School in what is presently the middle school gym, and I was the 451st person to come across the stage. And so I'm the last one today, and I figured that one was because of descending GPA. I don't know what makes me last today. I won't take it personally. Hey, so Hastings Public Schools has been just a huge part of my life. Janet and I, actually, we met in 9th grade in math, and it took me a little while, but I asked her out in 11th grade while we were dissecting a fetal pig in what is now Bobby Selesky's room. I'm sure that was romantic for her. My kids have all attended Hastings Public Schools. Katie now is a 5th grade teacher in Cannon Falls. Abby's a music teacher. Presently in Owatonna. Next year she'll be in Casa Manorville. Alex will be in Farmington. Got a job teaching social studies. That's good. You know, if you've known me for a long time, I have said this over and over and over in my career. If you bloom where you're planted, you have to be respectful of your roots. Trees don't grow tall because they have tall branches or they have green leaves. Trees grow tall because they have deep and strong and broad roots. And being from Hastings, in fact, I can see the roof of the house I was raised in from the front window of the middle school. Block and a half away. But I am very respectful of my roots. My roots include my family, my extended family. This is interesting. Janet and I both from town. I have 2 siblings that live in town, and 6 of her 9 siblings still live in town. Tim and the school board, thank you very much for your support. And before you, I'll just say also, the superintendents and school boards before you, I mean, so many people have alluded to the support that we've had. My work team, Lindy, I saw you out there. Justin and Joe, Judy, the people that spend most of the time with me. Now I'm a little bit nervous about remembering Janet's birthday. I could always remember Janet's birthday because Lindy would help me. I could always remember Lindy's birthday because Janet would help me. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to deeply miss 3 things. First, I'm going to miss lunch duty. I'm not sure what to do if I can't be in the cafeteria for 2 hours a day. Linda, I'm sure you can appreciate that. I just hope that we can stop by the middle school or some other school and for lunch duty. Yeah. The other thing is, you may know I'm going to 917 as superintendent, and Tim has informed me that. So the principalship, although it's a glorious job, almost every single conflict almost every single conversation that I'm in, almost every single exchange that I'm in, at the bottom of it, there's some deeply rooted conflict or tension or something that has to be resolved. And Tim has informed me that as superintendents, you never deal with any conflict. So I regret that, and I hope I'll have an opportunity. And the last thing that I'm really going to miss is, you know, I probably receive 150 to 170 emails a day. At least 130 of them have absolutely no substance, and they're from vendors. And so I feel like if I don't get that number of emails, it might feel bad. So if there's some kid out there that can help me to learn how to forward all of my email messages, that would be helpful. And the last 2 groups, when I think about roots, that I do want to thank is the community at large. And the Community Ed Advisory Board is actually really an iconic representation of that. We in Hastings, I think we take the community that we have for granted far too often. And being involved in several different community collaborations, I'll tell you that there are 3 things that get in the way, and gosh darn it, we have to be better at this. The 3 things that get in the way are we worry about who gets the credit. Don't do that. We worry about who gets the blame if something doesn't work out. Don't do that. And we worry about who pays the check. Don't do that. If we forget about all of that, we can do magical things together as a community. And the last group I want to thank really are the employees of Hastings Public Schools. You've cared for my kids, you've cared about my kids, you've taught my kids, and you've cared for me, you've taught me. I've learned a great deal from the people I come to work with every day. I can't imagine my life not having this in my life for the last 30 years. So the last thing I want to say is, as I move on to 917, and many of you know that it's a consortium of schools that Hastings is a part of, I do feel like it's, in as much as I am moving from this district to another district, I really feel like I'm extending the canopy of my tree to include a broader community. And that would not be possible if my roots weren't strong and deep. So I thank you all. Thanks, thank you.
Mark, if you miss lunch duty, we got a spot for you. Come on back. You want lunch duty, we'll give it to you at the middle school. That wraps up our program. We always try to keep it to an hour, but we also want people to stick around, visit with families, visit with friends. I know that there's cupcakes on your table. Please take the cupcakes. We have more food. Please finish with that. And on behalf of the school board, I want to restate, and it really is what Mark finished with. When the school board thinks of the retirees, when we look at those individuals that are retiring, we thank them for the years and years of dedication and commitment, because as John Koss said, when you're a teacher, there's nothing more valuable than that, and you think about your children 24/7. You think about them on Saturdays, you think about them on Sundays, and as a school board, we thank all the employees, because you have helped create a culture that the board wants. And that culture is what Mark said, it's a culture of family, and that's what makes it a great place. So thank you all. Thanks for coming today. Thank you to our retirees and our recipients. And please hang around and talk with your family and friends. Thank you very much.